Race 15 was held at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. After a hard-fought qualifying session, Stairs managed to snare pole from Goofball by a mere 0.03 of a second. Ziris scored his lowest qualifying result of the season and started in third. The lights went out and the race was underway. It wasn't long before the first mistake, with both Stairs and Goofball going deep at turn 1. It's unclear what happened to Stairs, but Goofball hit the clutch instead of the brake and lost multiple positions. Stairs then had a moment at turn 3 of lap 2, sliding sideways through the corner but managing to hold it and his position. Bagsy and Rambo had been battling for third, until the final chicane on lap 2, where they touched and Bagsy spun, dropping down to 7th position. Bagsy had slotted in behind Bang after his spin at the Wall of Champions, and on lap 4 they were having a nice battle for position. Lap 5 and Goofball's been stuck behind James since the second lap. He finally finds a way through at the hairpin. On lap 6, Nether was chasing down Fox for 4th position. Then Fox went deep at turn 6, and Nether moved on through. Fox then slid coming around turn 7, which gave Bagsy the opportunity to squeeze on through for 5th. The next lap, Rambo lost control at turns 8 and 9. He ended up facing the wrong way, which gave Nether a chance to get by, and all of a sudden he'd made up 2 places in as many laps. Lap 8, and Bang gives it a little bit too much gas coming out of the hairpin. This gives Goofball the opportunity to take 7th position. By lap 11, Rambo still hadn't found a way past Nether and was piling the pressure on for 3rd position. But even through a tight final chicane of the lap, Nether wasn't flinching, and it was Rambo who made the mistake. On lap 12, Bagsy made an error coming around the hairpin which lost him some time to Goofball. Goof very nearly made another position in the same fashion he did earlier, if not for some wheel spin of his own. This would continue into lap 13, when approaching turn 8, Goofball would have a look up the inside of Bagsy, just giving him something to think about, but then tucking back in behind and waiting for the next opportunity to pass. The battle was still tense on lap 15, with Goofball unable to find a way past Bagsy. As they approach turn 8, Goofball again gives Bagsy something to think about and has a look up the inside. Goofball does the same thing again along the back straight, approaching the final chicane, but it's not enough to put off Bagsy. Disaster strikes on lap 16 though, as Goofball makes a move up the outside and goes deep into turn 1 and slides. Bagsy thinks the pressure's off for the moment, but he slides coming out of turn 2, hits the wall and loses his front wing. Goofball then just needs to move up the inside, and as they enter turn 3, he finally takes 5th position. The celebrations are short-lived though, as at the end of that same lap, Goofball makes an error at the final chicane as Bagsy cuts it. Goof has no damage, but he's dropped back to 6th. Lap 18, and with just over a lap to go, Nether once again has Rambo for company. Rambo makes a move up the inside of the hairpin, slides a little bit, Nether touches him and slows down just enough to allow Rambo to hold on to 3rd. After that mistake on the very first turn of the race, it had been a tense 19 laps for Stairs, but in the end he ends up crossing the line to take the win in race 15. Cirrus crosses the line to take 2nd, and Rambo finishes in 3rd. Race 16 had James starting on pole, Green from 2nd, and Bang in 3rd. Would this race be as closely fought as the previous one? The lights went out and everyone got a clean start. Turn 1 was much needed than in the previous race, except for Rambo, who got shunted off and ended up doing a 360 to get back onto the track. As the group came around the hairpin, Bagsy had some contact which sent him deep, and then Nether got on the gas too early, spun the wheels, and ended up sliding off. Bang then got into trouble at the last chicane and slid off, losing 5 positions. On lap 2, Green briefly had first place before sliding around turn 2, and Xeris and Stairs collided, both losing their front wings. Shortly after, Bagsy started getting beat up on by everyone as he copped a knock from Goofball through turn 7, and then again from Xeris as he took 3rd. Bagsy then cut turn 9, taking 1st position, but found it difficult to find a place to give the position back to James without also losing a position to Xeris. Bagsy eventually fell back to 2nd through the final chicane, but it was Xeris who was in front of him now and James behind. There were cars everywhere again at turn 8 on lap 3 this time, as Rambo and Green collide, and Green comes off 2nd best. Xeris was without a front wing, but that didn't mean he was going to give up, and on lap 5 he was putting heaps of pressure on Bagsy. Rambo took 2nd from Xeris as he made a move up the inside at the hairpin, but ended up losing control and dropping some positions. Came back onto the track directly in front of Goofball, making him go around the other side of him, and also forcing Bang off track slightly. The three jostled for 5th, until Goofball made a mistake at the end of the lap and hit the wall of champions. He dropped back to 8th. Up ahead, Rambo was in a hurry to make up positions and made a move on Bang at turn 1. But he went deep and nearly collided with Bang as he came back on the track. He managed to get ahead and would hope that he could hold it through the next chicane. Xeris finally took the lead on lap 6 as they rounded the hairpin. Stairs had worked his way up into contention now and was sitting in a healthy 3rd. They all fought for the best position to come into the final chicane, but Xeris held the ideal spot, and as they came around, Bagsy made an error that put him into the wall. That mistake would drop Bagsy back to 6th. Bagsy was struggling without his rear wing, and at the hairpin he made an error which allowed Goofball to get right up behind him. On lap 8, Xeris and Stairs were locked in a tight battle for 1st, while Nether had recovered from his lap 1 incident to be sitting in 3rd. Nether was in fine form as he took 2nd as they rounded the hairpin. Meanwhile, the battle for 5th was a 3-way affair between Bagsy, Bang and Goofball. On the final lap, Goofball got the drive he needed around turn 2 to take 5th position from Bagsy. Bang also fancied himself gaining a position this lap and was just lurking in the background waiting to make his move. He saw his opportunity as they exited turn 9. The sprint race had been as intense, if not more so, than the main race before it, and after 10 grueling laps, most of them missing a front wing, Stairs made it 3 wins in a row and a clean sweep of round 8. Cirrus finished second for the 3rd time in a row, and similarly, Rambo crossed the line to make it his 3rd consecutive 3rd place finish. That's all from us here in Montreal. Join us next week for the penultimate round of the season, where we head to Sepang in Malaysia for round 9 of the ARW Formula 3 Championship.